Hey guys, welcome back to Quarantine Kitchen. I'm glad I get to see you. Actually, I really don't get to see you, you get to see me. So I'm glad you get to see me. So what we're doing today, we're gonna make some smoked pulled pork nachos. All right, so I'm gonna show you little tricks with the smoker and some things to do with how to make your nacho sauce. I've already done my rub over here if you want to take a look at this. It took me a really long time to develop my rub recipe. I'm not going to give that to you. You're not that good at friends. But every rub recipe is going to start with paprika.
I already sent it. Okay, it's really big.
Paprika!
Oh my word.
That's the base for all your rub recipes. If you don't use it, you're totally missing out. Go ahead, kill it. All right, we've come outside now. The bird's a little noisy. They don't like me out here. I'm going to show you the little smoker I'm using. It's a master-built electric smoker. I use the electric. I know, it's cheating. So this way I can go inside, don't have to stand out here and regulate the temperatures and everything. When I do my smoked pulled pork, I like to use pecan. I used to use applewood, but then I switched over to pecan and found out it gave a much better flavor. I've already preheated my smoker, so it's ready to put the meat in. So, I got 7.5 pounds, almost 8 pounds actually, of pulled pork. We're gonna put this in at 225, and this is gonna go for probably about 8 hours. Anywhere between 7 to 8 hours will do just fine. They usually say 2 hours and a pound, but I'll go a little longer. Make it just more tender. I'm gonna put my apple wood in this, my pecan wood into this. For every 20 minutes, for 2 hours, I'm gonna put this in here. After that, your smoke's already encrusted into the meat. You're not gonna get any more, so you're just wasting wood. One thing when you're using a smoker, you always wanna use a drip pan. Mine came with a drip pan, always got a little water in there. It'll keep moisture going inside your smoker. Moisture is very important so it doesn't dry out your meat. So, you'll come back in a few hours. Hey, it's about time to pull everything off the smoker now. It's been on about 7 hours. Let's see how she's looking. What do you think? I'd say that looks pretty darn good. All right, so I've already got my pork all shredded here for you. I didn't think you guys wanted to stand around and watch me shred this meat. So the way I cook my pulled pork, what I did is I put it in the smoker for 7 hours at 225. All right, that's just the perfect smoking temperature. Now I brought it home. Once I got it out, I brought it in and I put aluminum foil over my container with the meat in it and let it sit for 15 minutes. By doing that, it's going to draw all the moisture back into your meat. You want to do that before you start shredding it. All right, so you see, we got a nice little shred going right there. Only if you could taste how good that is. Oh, it's excellent. So we're going to make a homemade sauce. To make the homemade sauce, if my stove will light. All right, we got the stove lit. So to make this homemade sauce, you start off with 3 tablespoons of butter and your flour, about 3 tablespoons of flour, equal parts of butter and flour. Depends how much you're gonna make. This I'm gonna end up using 2 cubes of cheese. I like to make, I'm gonna use mozzarella, Monterey Jack and cheddar. Now the thing is, you wanna use the block cheese. All right, I used to make it all the time with the shredded cheese and I couldn't figure out why it was always grainy. Well, the whole thing is that it was grainy because when you use shredded cheese, it's got flour and stuff on it. And you can't ever mix that in. So shred your own block cheese. It's gonna make it smoother. So once we get this butter melted down, the flour melted down, then we're gonna add milk. And then we're gonna add a little cayenne pepper and some salt. That's all the seasoning is for. It's not too difficult to make your homemade nacho cheese. Hey, if somebody took it from you, you'd have to yell, "Hey, stop, that's nacho cheese." Come on, can't tell me you guys didn't see that one coming. So we almost got this done. All right, I'm going to take a pause here for a second. Let me try to get me to. Okay, so now I'm putting 2 cups of, I got all my butter and my flour mixed together nicely. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. This is going to make a lot of cheese, but if you like me, I like nachos with a lot of cheese. There's no such thing as too much cheese. So give us a little swirl around. A tablespoon of salt. Teaspoon, of salt, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Not too much, because this will add a lot of kick to it. A nice swirl. All right, we'll bring that up to temperature a little bit. This is my cheese. I've already pre-shredded it. I don't think you guys want to watch me shred cheese. It would be exciting for some people, but it wasn't really for me. So you don't want to all throw this all in at once, because it's just going to make it a lot harder for you to melt it down. Oops. Don't worry, Missy. You can clean that up later. Oops. A little cheese too. Don't worry, honey. You can get that too. If you hadn't figured out, my wife is running the camera today, not Chandler. We'll see who does better. She doesn't have the snide remarks that Chandler does.
I'm gonna start filming the cat.
Are you saying the cat's more excited than what I'm doing, huh?
No, she's pretty boring.
All right. You do know, as the cameraman, you get to camera woman, you're gonna have to taste this. That's their job. Hope you like it.
I hope so.
All right, so it's melting down. You know, I never made this mess before until you came in and started filming. Never made a mess with Chandler. What's up with this? I mean, it's seriously, I've never been this messy before. All right, so we got this all melted down, and we've got it thickened up. You see, it is nice cheese sauce consistency. Now it's time to start building our nachos. So, come back over this. Hey, camera lady, you're a little behind. Stay with me. Come on, don't make me have to fire you too, like I did the boy. Can't get good help these days.
You threw more stuff on the floor.
Don't worry, you can get that later.
No, mine was good.
All right, so to make good nachos, you gotta do layers. So you got cheese coming up next. Because you gotta have cheese on every chip. It's state law. And here, do a little pulled pork. Now, well, barbecue sauce. I was lazy today. I did not make homemade barbecue sauce. But you can't go wrong with Sweet Baby Ray's. A few more chips. Come back over, get your cheese. Like I said, can't have enough cheese. More pulled pork. More barbecue sauce. Black beans. If you're using black beans, you want to rinse them. Rinse them really well. Black olives. I don't like the taste of store-bought tomatoes yet. It still tastes like they're cooked and made in a greenhouse, so we're doing some Rotella tomatoes. I'll add a little more spice also. You can make homemade guacamole. Once again, I was lazy. I'll admit it. Maybe we'll have guacamole. Okay, so.
It's probably a tad.
Ha, finally. Now we'll guac. Double sour cream. Top it with a little bit of chopped jalapeno. That's only if you like jalapenos. And there you have it. Pulled pork nachos. Yeah, he was on top of a clown.